Welcome back to the Real Life Testament. Shout out to all my real lifers out there. Please make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell to get notified whenever we post a new video. Also, leave a comment if you have any questions. And again, don't forget I'm having that $25 gift card, Amazon gift card giveaway after we reach 100 subscribers. So please, y'all, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Now today's video we're going to call it False Idols. And it goes a little bit back into what I talked about in my last video, but not so much. I was on the phone, with a friend of mine, and we was talking about, childhood things and childhood people, idols that we looked up to. And it's just funny, you know what I mean? Because it's like, they put into perspective, the mindset that a child has and the mindset you have when you're an adult. You know what I mean? Because we were kids, and it's funny because we were talking about the same person. I got a family member of mine, or whatever. Now, as kids, growing up, he, to us, he was the world. You know what I mean? He was everything. He was like gangster. You know what I mean? He sold drugs. He had the money. He had, like I said, everything that you see, everything that we see that we think that we want growing up. And then when we get older, you don't even realize that he wasn't even doing too much. You know what I mean? Because like I said, when I was young, you go to his house, you see a pound of regular weed on the table, maybe a circle or two of some dope, you know what I mean? Maybe an ounce or two of some loud, and a bunch of people around with guns. And you think like, oh, this is the shit, you know what I mean? Like, this that nigga. Whole time, you know what I mean? He wasn't doing nothing. He was making crumbs, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like chump change, literally. You know what I mean? Because a pound of weed back then wasn't nothing but what? $600, $650, something like that. You know what I mean? It really wasn't that expensive. You know what I mean? He wasn't really making too much money. But like I said, as a child, seeing that, you think like, oh, that's just what I want to be. That's what I want to have. So then, they'll get people like that'll they'll see that the kids, look up to them. And even him, he was one of them. He was like, people try to bring you in and, take you up under their wing. And then, you so blinded by the fact that you think this person is like this godly figure to you, you don't even realize that he's setting you up for failure. You know what I mean? Now he giving you packs to go sell. Oh, but bring me the majority of the money and you keep the crumbs. You know what I mean? Granted, that's part of the game. That's how the game go. But he wasn't giving you no real guidance. He wasn't giving us no real guidance. You know what I'm saying? Instead of him keeping us out of the beef, keeping us out of the streets, he giving us the guns. You know what I mean? Taking us to go do the shit. You know what I mean? And now that I'm older, like I realize, you know what I'm saying? I'm so glad that I got away from that, you know what I'm saying, at a young age, because I watched my brothers, you know what I mean? Like a couple, my brothers, you know what I mean? They all got up under him and they all got around him and they all ended up dead. You know what I mean? It's like everybody that they get around him either ends up killed or they get shot. You know what I mean? And then I start noticing like, he ain't never doing none of the dying. You know what I mean? He ain't never the one getting shot. You know what I mean? So that made me be like, nah, I can't do that. That's not something that I need to, associate myself with. Fast forward all these years later, and now it's like he's like a bum to me now. You know what I mean? Like, you still out trying to nickel and dime and hustle and do all the same shit you was doing when I was a child. It's just now I can see it for what it is. So now when I get around him and he try to preach that shit to me, it go one ear and out the other, because it's like I'm looking at you in a whole different light now. You're not a man to me. You know what I mean? And that's why I say it's like it's a false idol, because growing up, like I said, this was somebody I looked up to. Like, I wanted to be everything like him because of the street credibility he had, the gangster stuff he had done in the streets. He had been, making this little money, what I thought was money. That's crumbs. You know what I mean? And and I say it goes back into my last video because it points out what I was talking about, that from when you growing up in the hood, you think there's only a few outlets to success. You know what I mean? And growing up, we thought that was success. You know what I mean? We didn't have no lawyers and doctors and you know what I'm saying, firefighters and stuff like that to look up to. We didn't have none of that. Scientists, astronauts. We don't have none of that in the hood. Like I said, all they tell us is play sports, sell drugs, go to school, and work for somebody for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell you that, oh, you could be the best person in sports, blow out your knee and never play again. Then what? You know what I mean? They don't tell you when you go to college, and you say you get a scholarship to go to college and you play and then you don't get drafted into the NFL. Then what? You know what I'm saying? What was you there at school for? Your grades, you just barely got by just so you can keep playing, and then you didn't go to the NFL. So now what you got to fall back on? You didn't even get the education that you were supposed to get that they gave you. You know what I mean? Because you saw a future in the league, in the NBA, or no, and it didn't work out. Now what you gonna do? You know what I mean? They don't tell you, oh, when you selling drugs, you can get busted at any minute. Somebody could try to kill you, rob you, hurt your family to get to you. Anything can happen at any moment. They don't tell you none of that. They don't tell you when you go to jail and you got 25 years, all those people you was around ain't gonna be there no more. Nobody don't tell you that. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying about these false idols. Because even the people that I was seeing going to jail, they wasn't getting out of jail and trying to make it seem like it wasn't a place I wanted to go to. I used to hear their prison stories and be like, oh, that shit seemed kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, not like so cool that I want to go, but if I had to go, it don't seem too bad. You know what I mean? Especially, I done seen people go 2, 3, 4 times. You know what I mean? Like, you keep going back. Obviously, it ain't too bad. You know what I mean? And that's just that programming, that mindset that we have growing up in the environment that we in, man. I'm just trying to help people to get out of that. I'm just, like I said, I'm just so glad that I caught it at a young age. Like, I caught it real young. Because, like I said, I started noticing that everybody that went and did this certain thing ended up dead. You know what I mean? And as soon as I started associating with him, I started getting into situations, you know what I mean? Like, with like grown men, not even just like, cause I was a child at the time, teenager. Now I'm getting into it with grown men, like in their late 20s, you know what I'm saying, early 30s, you know what I mean, based off dealing with him. But at the time, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that I'm just a crash dummy. I'm just a pawn on the chessboard. I wasn't seeing that then. I had to grow up, and it took me to go through some things. I had to learn that life is based off learning experiences. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said my father always said life is based on choices and consequences. For every action, there is a reaction. You know what I mean? For every choice, there's a consequence, no matter if it's good or bad. You know what I mean? So now that and it's funny because I remember he used to say all the time, like, if I knew then what I know now. You know what I mean? That's a strong saying. And for any kids watching, you probably ain't gonna realize what that statement means until you get a little older. But this is why I'm here. You know what I mean? To try to tell you now, so you don't have to know later. You know what I mean? So you already know later, so you don't have to figure it out later. You see what I mean? That's all. That's all I'm here for. And then you got to look at who the real idols are. Like your parents, their parents should be your number one idol. And even if they're not a doctor or a lawyer or a judge or nothing in this big important job, look at especially if you come from a household with a mother and a father, let them be your idols and make that something that you want to strive for. You know what I'm saying? To have a family one day. You know what I mean? Yeah, we might not be the richest, but we surviving together. We getting through this together. You know what I mean? And then once your kids see that, that makes them, like I said, it makes them want to have that. You know what I mean? Because I remember watching my mom and my daddy. They was together my whole life just about till I became a teenager. And when they broke up, it was like my life fell apart. You know what I mean? So all these things play a role in a child's life. That's why I keep saying false idols. We keep looking at the wrong things and wanting that. Like we look at all like kids look at all these rap songs and all these rap videos, and all they see is the jewelry, and then they hear them talk about the guns, and They see the money and the girls, you know what I'm saying? But it's so much that comes with that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, whatever you feel like make you happy, do it. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? Do it to the best of your ability. Just always have something else in case that don't work out. You know what I mean? Because not everything is destined. Just because you want something don't mean you destined to have it. You know what I'm saying? Your purpose might be something totally different in life. You just, like I said, learning experiences, life experience, you got to find that out and stop letting people dictate your life and tell you what success is or what you should do with your life. It's your life. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you to go out and sell drugs, but if that's what you want to do, shit, go out and sell drugs. Be the best you can. Be the biggest at it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't advise it, but if that's what you want to do, by all means. If you want to go play sports, be the best at it. Try to make it to the league. But if you don't, have something in the clutch so you don't have to go back to the streets and go back and live the life that all these other people around you are still living. You know what I mean? And a lot of things, it's just environment. You know what I'm saying? Like people be scared to get up and just leave and go to all these different places. But really, if you go somewhere else, 9 times out of 10, you'll succeed because you don't have as many distractions. You don't know as many people. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going out and socializing as much. Your mind is focused on your purpose of being there. You know what I mean? Like everybody I know that moved away from where I live at is doing so much better. And I mean, I could not live here. I could be gone right now. I chose to stay here. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I felt like there was a purpose for me here. Like I had something to do here still. I'm gonna leave one day, but I just feel like I just got something I need to do while I'm here, and maybe that's what this is. You know what I mean? And then another reason was because all my memories are here. All my loved ones are here that I cared about, the ones that I lost. I don't want to just leave the memories behind. Won't be able to just pull up to a graveyard and those type of things. But one day I got to make that decision too, and I know it. I know it, and one day I will. But for now, I just need to continue doing this. You know what I mean? And hopefully I can be an idol or a positive role model for somebody so they don't look up, like I said, to these false idols, the wrong people. And don't get me wrong, I don't say idol in the sense of like God or nothing like that. I mean as in people you look up to. You know what I mean? Because everybody look up to somebody, whether they admit it or not. Everybody is trying to be or replicate something that they saw from somebody else. So hopefully they can replicate what they see from me and do something positive. That's all. But that's all I want to say tonight. Again, please make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. When we get to 100 subscribers, I will pick a random person and give them a $25 Amazon gift card. And I'll try to do these giveaways every 100 subscribers up till we get to about 1,000. Then I'll start doing, probably $100 giveaways. But, so definitely help me out, you guys. Share it, tell a friend, subscribe, post, like, all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get this out to as many people as we can. I need y'all help to do it. So shout out to all my real lifers out there. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.